Hello, Orla Gartland.
Hello, Mike.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I wasn't talking to you, I was talking to the microphone.
The microphone.
How are you as well?
I'm good, thank you. We're in Bristol. It's
We are.
first day of the tour. How are you feeling?
Nervous,
Yeah?
but good nerves. It's difficult to know how it's going to come together, but I can just hope that it will. And we've been rehearsing in Cardiff for the last 2 days, and I'm really happy with how it sounds, so hopefully it just comes across well.
That's good. So you're kind of touring with a new kind of arrangement. You've got a full band going on.
Yeah, well, I'd say I'm not sure full. It's kind of like a half band scenario. So I've got my friend CJ, and he's doing percussion, but it's not like a full kit. It's like it's got a kick, a snare, some cymbals, and a kind of pad triggering like samples and stuff.
They're always fun.
Crazy. And then I've got my friend Greta on BVs and second guitar. So it's still relatively still relatively stripped back. And then I'll do part of the set where I just do some stuff on my own. So hopefully it's kind of good. Change in dynamics and stuff. Your
kind of older shows have just been by yourself, but the new EP, Roots,
Yep.
It's a lot more full sound.
Yeah.
What made you decide to go for that kind of sound?
Because I'm like guitar based and began acoustically, this is kind of stigma, which isn't necessarily a bad thing at all, but people kind of see that you're a girl with an acoustic guitar and they're like, you're a folk artist, you're definitely a folk artist. And I listen to a lot of folk, but I've never thought of my own music as folk. I think of my own music as pop, which is weird because pop again has this weird stigma and people are like Spice Girls, and I'm like, no, you've got like Regina Spektor is pop and Imogen Heap. This is just the more left field side. So that's kind of always the genre I saw myself in, and it just felt like a bigger sound would put that across better than just an acoustic guitar.
You left out Miley Cyrus.
And Miley Cyrus, huge inspiration, and co-writer, no, not really.
So you were going on YouTube for quite a while before this EP. Why did it take so long to put out an EP, and what made you decide that now was the right time?
Well, I was in school, which is a really boring logistical reason for not putting anything out. I was a massive nerd. I'm the oldest of 3 siblings, so it's kind of, I felt like I had to set a good example and like be okay in school, as opposed to I'm a pop star now. So I put things on hold, which is a massively frustrating wait. Like this time last year, it was bleak times. You know yourself, the Leaving Cert.
Great fun.
It's just it's an absolute joke. The way that the whole system of it is very kind of last minute stress orientated, and it almost encourages cramming, which is just the way it is. There's no obviously continuous assessment aspect. It's just a total joke, really. So I was kind of doing that, and I really just wanted to wait, because I very easily could have probably put something out maybe this time last year, but I don't feel like it would have been quite right.
Because you did release Devil on My Shoulder.
Yes.
When was that?
That was like 2012, summer 2012. So that was kind of like, oh, I'm going to feel like a real musician now and put something on iTunes. And I was super proud of that as well at the time, even though the EP felt like a sort of progression.
Over the past kind of 12 months, you've been touring a lot. You've been doing a lot of support slots. Mm-hmm. How's all that been going? Really
good. I think performing, like writing and every other aspect, is just a craft to be kind of honed, and I think I'm on my way. I have kind of this thing where I feel like maybe I'll never be 100% happy with performance and gigging and live stuff, and at the same time it would be a horrible thing to think that you've reached your full potential. So maybe it's a good thing to kind of feel like you're always in development, I think. So you play gigs yourself, so you probably know what I mean. It's kind of like you step off stage and I'm usually like, oh, that didn't go very well, but I'd almost rather be like that than nailed it. I kind of feel like that's a good thing, keeps you on your toes and keeps reminding you just to be humble, and reminds you that that you've got a long way to go, because in the grand scheme of things I've been doing it for a very short space of time. So it feels better though. All the support tours and everything have definitely helped that, because it's just intense shows every single night, and you feel like you've learned a whole bunch of skills from the whole tours and stuff. Yeah, because
you've played like massive support gigs. I was stalking your Facebook today.
Lurk.
Yeah. John Newman, Hudson Taylor, I'm sure there's more, Lauren Aquilina, like massive gigs.
Yeah, it was scary.
It must be really rewarding to kind of get offered those gigs to start with.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, I suppose I feel very sort of lucky with the cards that have been dealt to me in terms of who my friends are. So Hudson Taylor, Gabrielle Applin, Lauren Aquilina, like I'm so lucky to call them all friends, and it's kind of this amazing vibe in the group where like it's just kind of helping each other out and writing songs together, and people always are like, oh, there must be some sort of competition and stuff between you, but there just genuinely isn't. It's just a genuine, everyone's at different stages. Some of us have been doing it longer than others. I'm kind of the youngest in the group, really, as well as Lauren, but it's so nice for everyone to just help each other out, and it's so lovely. So kind of, as well as having loads of places to stay in London, so it's kind of, it's massively rewarding. But then stuff like the John Newman, where I had absolutely no sort of link, are also amazing, really refreshing, and just a great experience.
What has been the highlight of the last 12 months?
It was a funny moment. Basically, I was involved in like a charity album, involved with your friend Paul Walsh and Brezzy and a bunch of other amazing Irish people. And I just felt like these are all people that I fangirl over and go to their gigs, and suddenly I was being asked to be involved, and I just felt so humbled and amazed by it. So I contributed this song, and to the radio station Ireland Today FM, that were playing each of the songs. And Ian Dempsey, he's obviously quite a well-known DJ in Ireland, he was playing the song, and he played my track from it, and this person like texted in. My dad installs people's broadband, and he like goes around, and when he installs a broadband, he like tests the connection by putting on a video of mine, which is like so nice of him. He's like, marketing manager or whatever. But basically they played my track, Ian Dempsey did, and someone texted in being like, oh, this girl's dad fitted my broadband, that's how I know her. And the next thing, like 10-15 people also texted in saying the same thing, and suddenly my dad was getting really excited because they were talking about it on the radio. And then they contacted me the next day, like, we'd love to have you in for a session. And I'm like, whoa, this is so cool. And I rock up on my guitar at like 6 a.m, and I'm so loving life. And they come in and sit me down, and they just look at me and they're like, so tell us more about your dad. Like, we love the story about your dad. And I'm like, I'll just get him in if you want. So that was pretty cool. It was, for him more than anything else.
Yeah.
And I think like it sounds like a really kind of small thing, but even just being able to hold your own physical CD felt like a massive deal, because for people like my granny, who is actually surprisingly techie and very smart when it comes to the internet, but until you can actually hand someone a physical disc, there are people, and maybe older people and younger people, that kind of feel like that's when you've actually made some music. They're like iTunes, YouTube, but you're actually able to hand them like a product, and they're like, oh, this is what you've been up to.
So you're an actual real musician.
Yeah, or I feel like I'm getting there. So that was a really good moment as well, I think.
Well, like, you are ginger. We know this.
Yes.
And I'm sorry
Am
if
I?
this.
No, yeah.
I'm sorry if this sounds racist, but I'm
Okay.
assuming that you support other ginger musicians.
I would like to think so. I'm not sure I know all of them, but definitely I feel like a positive prejudice against ginger people, yes.
Good. I've got a couple of questions about fellow ginger musicians. Just kind of test your knowledge.
General knowledge. I'm going to make such a tit of myself. I bet you won't know any of them, but okay.
You ready?
Yes.
There's not many of them.
Okay.
The first one.
Mm-hmm.
What is the real name of Spice Girls' Ginger Spice?
Pants. Let me go through them in the head. You've got Posh. You've got Mel C. You've got... I'm definitely getting S Club 7 and Spice Girls mixed up. Boom. That's literally like a name. That's terrible. Poor form. I have no idea. I'm sorry.
If I said her first name was Jerry.
Hallowell.
There we go.
Boom.
A bit of an Ed.
Okay.
I know he's quite big in your community.
My community. Yeah. He's flying the flag.
How many songs has Ed Sheeran written for One Direction?
Wow. He wrote Little Things, didn't he? That's a single. And I assume, since he said songs, that there's plural, I'm just going to take a random guess and say 4?
3.
Oh, so close.
I'm really worried that I've made these questions too hard, because it just goes downhill from here.
Oh, wow.
Well, we'll see
how many is there?
There's 2 more.
Oh, okay.
So I haven't made it too difficult.
Downhill, Christ.
Newton Faulkner.
Mm-hmm.
What is his secondary instrument? You've got a couple of options. Sitar, mandolin, or banjo.
I'm going to say sitar.
Well done.
Only because I know that he has it on some of his albums.
Well, there you go. That's a good way of doing it.
Boom.
And the last one, I think this is the hardest one. I kind of feel bad for this one.
Okay. Not bad for me. You feel bad for the question. Okay.
I kind of feel bad for you as well. Florence Welch from Florence and the Machine didn't write a song for which movie? The Great Gatsby, Frozen, or Snow White and the Huntsman?
Wow.
I feel really bad for this. I'm so sorry.
No, don't apologise. I should get this. Snow White and the Huntsman, when did that come out? There's no point in trying to bring any logic in. I'm going to take a guess. I'm going to say, only because I know, doesn't Frozen have a ginger girl in it? I know I'm getting that mixed up with a different... Oh, it does. Okay.
I think so.
You know, I'm going to say Snow White and the Huntsman.
It was Frozen.
Oh,
So close.
what logic was that? I don't know what the hell I was using. I'm happy.
What was that? One out of 4?
It's better than none.
Yeah, true. Thank you very much, Orla Gartland.
Thank you
Enjoy the
so
show
much.
tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Enjoy the rest of the tour as well.
Thank you very much.
And enjoy other things.
Enjoy your life.
Yeah, that one.
Okay. You too.